The ultimate battle between magic and nature begins. Wizard versus tree.
Hello, everyone! We have a lot to talk about today. The work week was stressful. Not like so much, but some parts of it was. And there's really two words because of that. Live code. Live code. We have discs that the developers give us, and they're working on the game, and we're testing the game. They're working on a later version of the game, and every time we get a new disc from them, that's called a new build. So, live code is farther along than our discs, but not as far as the developers. So if we find something that's really significant, we have to check it on live code. Now, live code is not the easiest thing to work with, and I really can't get into it here, but believe me, it can be somewhat chaotic. And to update live code every time we get a new build takes the whole day to do it, because our computers are slow. But the work week wasn't all that bad, and I had some fun in the week as well. Tuesday night, Eric invited me over to game board night. Game board night, him and a couple friends that he knows have this night where it's not always the same night, but they do game boards. Now, I'm not talking about your Monopoly, Parcheesi, Connect 4, Battleship kind of games. I'm talking about very obscure games, ones I've never even heard of. The first game we played was called Genji. Genji is you have to seduce Japanese princesses, and you do that by reading them poetry. And there's 12 princesses on the board, and there's fashion in terms of romance, melancholy, and nature, and seasons. And each princess has a certain fashion and season they prefer, and each poem, or parts of poems, there's a beginning and an end, has a certain beauty associated with it. And you get scores based on how beautiful the poem is, if it's to the princess's liking, and if the fashion and season are applicable to that part of the game. So the object of the game, to get with as many princesses as you can. It's a lot of fun. It is a very unique game. One that's it's just like a really interesting idea, and one of the guys that owns the game said it's one of the best courtier games that he's ever played, which is wooing women and trying to be the best man that you can be. So, the next game was by far my favorite. The next game was Pandemic. Pandemic is a cooperative game between 2 to 4 people, and it's you versus the board. And the board is the world. And there's diseases, 4 of them, that are starting to cause some chaos. And your goal is to cure the diseases. The 5 roles that you have to choose from, you only will be able to choose 4 because there's 4 players, but each player will choose a role, is the scientist, the researcher, the dispatcher, the medic, and I can't remember what the 5th one is. Anyway, each role has certain special moves that it can do, and you go around the world and you try and cure these diseases, and every time you go, there's pandemic cards, and new flourishes of diseases are formed, and if you have so many outbreaks, you lose. It's a lot of fun. It's very addicting. It's won a couple awards for like Best Board Game of the Year when it came out. Not sure exactly when it did come out, but I want it. It's $30 to $40, a little pricey for a board game, but I'm definitely going to be saving up for it. And yeah, so that was board game night. We ordered some Japanese, Chinese food, and it was good time. I enjoyed it immensely. I then crashed at Eric's place, and then the next day we got bagels, and we're off to work. Haha! Yes! But yeah, work's going well. I do have some news about the LAPD test. I got my test back, and I passed, but 18 people scored better than me, and they said that the way that they accept people is the higher the score. So I didn't do too well as I wanted. But hey, who knows? They might call these 18 people and they might have already found jobs, or you never know. So I'm not getting my hopes up, but I'm not gonna be too down about it. I was bummed when I first found out. But hey, maybe it's just not time yet. I have a good temporary job right now, and if that's what I'm doing to save up a car, then that's great. Then I'm very happy for that. I also started doing some cardio. Now I know what you're thinking, me in a gym? No, not at all. I'll actually show you what it is. See, the reason I'm doing the cardio is because I play trumpet and my breath support isn't really the best that it could be. So, my dad, when he was going in for surgery, his friend gave him this. Now, do you see it? Now, this is a normal bike we have here, but this part makes it a stationary bike.